So I turned 40 about a month ago, and let me tell you, good God, Mama Whale is super tired. Let me back up. My name is Jill Wright. I'm a time and energy management expert. If you are new to this podcast, welcome. Energy and Hours is all about talking about how we can manage our time and energy to create a more spacious, fulfilling, aligned life. So I'm glad to have you here with me. I'm going to take you back. Last week, my daughter drew a picture for me, and it was a sweet little whale. And in her terrible grammar and bad spelling, she wrote, Mama Whale is just so tired. And I was like, wow, how perceptive of a 7-year-old to see me through the facade of perkiness, energetic, go, 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 summer fun vibes. She saw right through it and she was like, she didn't come out and say, Hey, mom, I see you're exhausted. But she gave me this picture and she's never called me Mama Whale before. So I really don't know where that little piece came from. But it made me realize just how much I had been pushing to have a fun summer for the kids. And if you go back a couple episodes, you'll hear me talking about the same situation. And on my newsletter, I have talked about this too. I preach for rest. I preach for self-care. I preach for boundaries and taking things slow. And I have found myself not once, but twice now having a conversation with you about how I didn't follow my own advice. And so this podcast is just going to be my musings about what happens when I don't take the time to manage my own energy, right? Everybody's impacted, and that is not what I want. So let's go back, like I said, about a month in June. I had my 40th birthday. And it was an extremely busy time, June. I was doing my kids' birthday parties. The younger two both had birthday parties in late May. Then I went to Calgary for a week. I had a presentation at an oil company and did a little touring around. Then it was my birthday. My best friend and I had a celebration sort of midway between her birthday in May and my birthday in June. We invited all of our mutual friends. We had a spa day. We hung by the pool. We did this big dinner and drinking fest. It was a beautiful celebration for our 40th. Then my actual 40th birthday came, and of course, you have the little, dinners and celebrations to mark the day there. And then we went camping for Canada Day. And all of this is happening during the craziness of school letting out, it being the last couple of weeks of school. Kids are squirrely, everything's crazy. The temperatures are off the charts here in Ottawa, where I'm living. So we've got this like weird mix of turbulent that I'm ignoring. And the kids are going to be home with me during the summer. When they're with me, they're not in camp. I have the luxury this summer of not working a 9 to 5 job. I do have a lot of work that I need to do, both for my own business and for the clients I take on in some consulting capacities. But I have managed to make it so that when the kids are here, I am not working all the time. And I have planned things for them. I thought I will take advantage of this summer where I have capacity to be with the kids, to do some fun things. I'm not a slave to my computer or a job. Doesn't have to be expensive things, but we're going to go and we're going to have fun. And my intention was that it would be a super 80s vibe, right? Like freezies and skipping ropes and bicycle rides. And it has been. And I overdid it. We have gone to farms and petting zoos and parks and splash pads. We have done beach trips and pool visits, both to people's like private pools that we know and to the community pool. We have done crafts and we have done water gun fights and water balloons and sprinklers, and it has been amazing. And it has been too much, I think, for everybody. And in trying to fit everything in this summer, the fun, the memories, the magic, being present, right? Working while having kids home, building the business, getting new clients. I experienced an odd kind of overwhelm that comes maybe particularly to perimenopausal women, because even though I am just 40, I'm in the thick of it. And that is rage. I experience rage when I get busy, overwhelmed, overbooked. when I am trying to control everything. Is this sounding familiar to anyone, right? We're trying to control everything and make it so perfect and magical that we don't even enjoy it while we're there, or it just flies by. We're like, oh, did we? Oh, yeah, we did that thing. And we look back and we're like, oh, but I didn't enjoy it when I was in the moment because I was too busy managing and organizing and scaffolding and just trying to make sure that it went well, that everyone had everything they needed, right? That the water bottles got packed and the snacks and the movies were in the car and all of the things while managing the bickering, the fighting, the overheating, the transitions and everything that comes with taking, in my case, a family of six on adventures. Oh, my car also needed a major repair. So we had to do the two vehicle thing for a time. And it was just chaos. And so, yes, Mama Whale is extremely tired because Mama Whale did not take time for self-care, for rest. I've been traveling through time zones. I've been staying up late because the sun is out late. We did a little bonfire in my backyard one night, but you have to wait for it to get dark, right? We did stargazing with a telescope that my neighbor got from the library one night, which is fantastic. And the kids didn't go to bed till after 10. Do you think that they would sleep in? No, they do not sleep in. And so I do not sleep in. And so I am running on empty, burning the candle at both ends and continuing to plan and go and not taking the opportunity for rest, for self-care. And so my energy is really low. And so my rage sneaks in and impacts everybody around me, which is not fair because they don't deserve it. It's my issue, and I am the only one who can carve out and protect the time for my rest and my self-care. Overpacking the schedule is well within my own control, right? I think that we forget the definition of burnout often. It's, in my view, the unequal exchange of energy out, which I've been doing a lot of, and energy in, which comes in the form of self-care and rest. And if you think about it in terms of the time magic method, that um, I don't know if you can see, hold on, this time magic method sticker, probably not easy to see. Go to my website. It is this Venn diagram that intersects productivity, which is the output, as well as self-care and rest, because we can't talk about productivity without talking about burnout. And the way to avoid burnout is making your productivity sustainable through self-care and rest. And I simply haven't been doing that. And so this week, while the kids are at camp, I am going to be resting, sleeping in, taking naps, going for walks, right? I have this luxury this week because the kids are with their dad. And I have this built-in week that, if I'm being honest, I had chock-a-blocked full of work stuff. Yesterday, I worked 7 a.m. till past 7 p.m. with a short break to eat here and there, grab a cup of tea and more caffeine simply because I wanted to create an open week next week for when the kids are back. And so I realized yesterday in a rage-filled that I needed to rethink what this week would look like to be able to show up in the way that I wanted to next week when everyone's back, because I don't want to perpetuate the cycle. Now, I realize not everyone has a week off from their kids. That is a blessing and a curse. That is my reality. Some of you are going to have the same reality. Some of you are going to have different schedules. Some of you have no kids. Some of you have kids all the time. When I have kids, I have four kids. When I have no kids, I am a business owner working for six different companies, including my own, and trying my best to get everything done. I also have a romantic partner that I live with and love and want to spend time with. And I also have my own interests and hobbies and books I want to read and things I want to experience in the summer when the weather is good. All of this to say, everyone's life looks different, but everyone's life is full and busy. And what I want you to take away from this rambling conversation is that in order to enjoy this season, in order to enjoy all the things that you are working hard to create, the experiences, right? The successes, the goals that you have for yourself and your family, you have to also support yourself through rest and through self-care. And you can go back and listen to the episode I did about the difference between rest and self-care, because like rest is the stuff that gets you to your baseline. Self-care is the stuff on top of that. You can't have self-care until you have rest. It's one of like the founding principles of things I talk about when I talk about rest. There's also 7 different types of rest. If you're not familiar with me and my work, I talk about this a lot. I didn't create this framework. It's by Sandra Dalton Smith, but I did an episode, or maybe I've done more than one, about the types of rest. I talk about this a lot when I'm doing corporate presentations as well. And I just felt like I lost sight of that since I turned 40 and had everything in the mix, super fun, everything go, go, go. And I'm starting to realize that in all of this fun and excitement, the balance got lost. And so in the next month, as I continue into my 40s, I'm very newly minted into my 40s. And so I can't give you much experienced words yet. Um, but I really do have a new focus on experiences, memories, being present, right? Rest is the way that I can make all of that happen. Yes, I have a list of things I want to do this summer. No, I will not get to them all. And I am okay with that because the things that we do get to, they're going to be awesome. They're going to be memorable. I'm going to enjoy them in the moment and I'm going to enjoy them later when the kids scroll through my phone and look at videos of themselves and giggle and laugh and relive the moments. And so that's my invitation for you this week is in order to be present and have a full fun season, if that is what you are hoping for, make sure that you are taking time to rest. Make sure you remember Mama Whale and how tired she was and how that impacted the entire pod or household or like whatever, however deep we're going to go with this metaphor. I want you to remember that rest and self-care are both so important for sustainable productivity and sustainable fun. So that is my message for you today. If you need some support with this, please reach out. I have a couple spots available still in the summertime for the weeks I don't have the kids for tune-ups, which are the 90-minute one-to-one sessions, which are so helpful. And I'm also having a lot of success doing a few people here and there with weekly check-ins. Sometimes like that one push of 90-minute conversation gives you your tools and gives you your motivation, and then real life happens and you're like, oh, I slipped. I need accountability. I need more structure. I need more support. And so doing like a 20-minute weekly check-in has worked really well for a small number of clients. I don't have too many spots for those, but if that sounds supportive for you, please reach out because we can always look at the options and making something work. And if you are looking to get a better handle on your productivity, I just came up with a new free offer. You can find it on the website or through the link in my Instagram bio. I'll link it here too, with 3 different resources in one download for my productivity tools. It's how to trick your brain into getting started, prioritization methods, and time management hacks that actually work for ADHD brains. It's all there in the one download. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I would love for you to check that out and get more free resources and support. Take the quiz, get some tips on your time magic style, and keep listening to this podcast. I'm not doing episodes every single week in the summertime. I am thinking about which topics I can show up to this podcast with meaty information, right? With things you haven't necessarily heard from me before, with things that actually make a difference because summertime is fleeting. You're probably not spending a lot of time listening to your podcast, or maybe you're living your best life on the beach and all you're doing is reading and listening to podcasts, in which case, congratulations. Go back and listen to the hundreds of episodes I have done in the past because there will be something there for you. And if you're looking for another free resource, diving deeper into some of the topics that I discuss on this podcast, my Substack, Energy and Hours, is an incredible place to go. And again, in the summertime, no pressure on myself to make sure I have an article every single week. So that is what it is. Thank you for your grace. I will not apologize because this is how I sustain, this is how I keep things going. It is a constant shuffle. I always say balance is a verb, right? It's not a destination. I am balancing as I go and adjusting, and I encourage you guys all to do the same. Find the pockets of time that matter to you. Figure out how you're using them. Be strategic, but follow your values and follow your heart. So thank you again for being here for this conversation. If you liked it, please give me a like, subscribe, rating, review, all the things, depending on where you're at. I'm listening to this. It means a lot and it helps the podcast a lot. And share it with someone who might like the message as well. So until next week, keep on growing like a mother.